Hey YouTubers and YouTuberettes, this is ConorArmCEO here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Arrowverse review of Flash, and it's the 6th episode and it's called the Icicle Cometh. Now it begins where after Cisco got all the satellites from the Enlightenment before the original satellite got taken down, they scanned throughout all over the city and find that there are over 46 shards from the star satellite when Nora and Alan punched it to pieces, basically. And apparently they have to find the main thing, the central core of the satellite. So they both separated into groups. So Iris went with Sherlock, and obviously Nora, who both Iris and Nora are finally communicating because they finally got that heart-to-heart talk. And Ralph wanted to go to Joe and do some detective work for looking for people who were inside this big hut where everybody got injured near the Enlightenment satellite fall, and so they can get some information, and probably the person that was Cicada got injured and was there and probably got on record. And then some. Both Barry and Cisco, Caitlin decided they had nothing to do, so let's go and find your dad. And then so they used the teleportation device that you all remember that Cisco gave to Kara on her first crossover with the whole Team The Invasion crossover. And then as soon as you look at it, in the middle of winter, a big blizzard, and then they enter in this facility building, and it just screamed Stephen King's The Thing. And funny enough, after I watched that episode, I sat down and I watched the movie. And just before I started recording, I watched it again. I'm a very light sleeper, Charles. They walked in and then they find everything open and working, and then just right in there, after 20 years, she sees her father right in front of her face, and then they have the heart-to-heart moment, and it turns out what really happened, why he disappeared, and among other things, he had ALS, which is a very serious condition, very serious. And they used liquid nitrogen of some substance, and slowly slowed it to a crawl, but it took its toll on him. And like Caitlin and Killer Frost, they're both two people, and Caitlin has Killer Frost as an alter ego, and they thought that his alter ego wasn't there, never existed, so that's why he was slowly going to die. And it turned out Caitlin had ALS as well, and thanks to Killer Frost, she got rid of it, and that explains why she saw visions of herself when she was Killer Frost as a child. They said, how did you survive? And it was like, oh, I had Harrison Wells and Victor Freeze to help with that. Victor Freeze, as in Batman's greatest villain, helped out Thomas Snow. And Harrison Wells, is it Eobard Thawne Harrison Wells, or the Harrison Wells that got murdered by Eobard Thawne? But then Cecile and Ralph decided to go to the investigation instead of Joe, because she thought she was losing her mojo and she's not really intimidating anymore. And then just as soon as she was interrogating this one guy, she thought she lost it. But later on, it turns out that he was embezzling people's prescription money for helping them to get back on their feet, help them get well, so he could buy a bloody Lamborghini. That's a crime, man. And then so he gave this big case of files that were happening to all the people that got caught in the Enlightenment crash, took them on, and then did a little bit of research. And then shortly after, Cisco got suspicious, and then he went back to the facility where Thomas was being held, and then he vibed on this one container, and it turns out it was skin grafts that he was using on himself. And then long story short, both Caitlin and Vibe had a bit of an argument, and then shortly after, Caitlin developed the cure, but then it struck her. The alter ego was there, and then they walked in, confronted him about it, then he struck, and then he stole the cure, and they went to this facility where it can turn into deep cold, like I mean literally deep undercover cold, deep undercover. And then just as soon as XS and the Flash, Vibe, and Elongated Man entered, like that, they fell down dead numb. And then just before he was about to eject himself, just out of spontaneous, Killer Frost emerged and he blasted him across the room. And just right then and there, it was amazing that Killer Frost is back. Icicle disappeared, and then Cisco was happy to codename Caitlin's dad the Icicle, and he was like, still got it. So like, yeah, right you do, buddy. Then it turned out, while they were figuring out what was the deal with Icicle, that then it struck them. What really happened in the first place? When they were doing miles of tests and they thought Killer Frost was gone because the Thinker drained her power. But it turned out later after, Killer Frost was still inside her. So what happened was, it was Brainstorm that put a mental block on Caitlin when they used the phrase melt. And then that caused a psychosis in her brain, saying she's slowly losing Killer Frost, and that's why she basically like melted away, but deep down in her core. And then luckily Harry's dampener device helped out really well and placed it on top of her head, and then right then and there saying, "Oh, stranger, we have a lot to talk about." So like, "Oh, Killer Frost is talking to you." And then it turns out this incident happened in a carnival after when Nora and Iris found the core of the satellite. Cisco was very happy. He was like, "Oh, my baby!" And then that's when we found the shaped bolt on the satellite, which I'm thinking, after the 2 punches involved in Team Flash, the shape of the bolt slammed down, and while the satellite and the shards were going down in the middle of the carnival, he got stabbed in the shoulder by that bolt, and then probably by the time when he removed it, there's a little bit in there, and that's why it explains he's getting all these amazing abilities, and why he found out that he's going to be really strong after he took down this metahuman, which was technically a T-1000 metahuman. And it's basically not waiting for the entire film to take down this metahuman. It only took 1 minute. It turns out 2 kids got hurt, father dead, 1 daughter comatose, and that was little Grace. And then as soon as we find Grace, and as soon as we find the father, we've got our cicada. Just like that. But anyway, it was an exciting episode, and I did enjoy it very much. And guys, please stay tuned for my other review videos, because I did a little review binging so I can get this over and ready, and pretty soon I'll be getting started with my huge crossover episode, which I've been looking forward to see for ages, and I still haven't seen any pictures or trailers or whatnot, because I don't want to be spoiled. I want it to be a big surprise, and I want to see everything really awesome. But anyway guys, to YouTubers and YouTuberettes, I'm ConorArmCEO. Thank you. And OverN'Out.